Story 1. Why do people act like American cheese is bad? It is not. It is the best melting cheese there is and has a nice salty and creamy flavor. It is great with burgers, eggs, nachos, potatoes, and hot dogs. Story 2. Grilled cheese. It is honestly the only cheese I want to make them out of. It was meant to be melted down and pulled apart for a squishy bite. Story 3. Cheeseburgers, breakfast sandwiches, grilled cheese. All the items that traditionally come with them are fantastic as well. American cheese is a very versatile and tasty cheese. People who are overly critical about cheese should be more open-minded. Story 4. Apple pie. I do not know my grandmother from Rhode Island would do this. And as a kid, I was very opposed to cheese on pie, but as an adult, it works somehow. Story 5. American cheese is just cheddar or Colby, or similar cheeses, mixed with sodium citrate. The argument that it is not real food or that it is full of chemicals is ignorant. Story 6. Saltine crackers. Arrange 4 in a 2x2 grid. Place a slice of cheese on top, add 4 more crackers, and heat in the microwave for 15 seconds. This has been my go-to snack since I was 10. Story 7. A plain old cheese sandwich. White bread, Wonder Brand preferred, a slice of Kraft American cheese, shredded lettuce, and Miracle Whip. Gourmet eating right there. To take it to the next level, add some Lay's potato chips inside the sandwich and crush them before eating. Story 8. Burgers, sandwiches, omelets, and placing a slice or 2 on top of soy sauce-based pasta dishes. Not tomato-based. Story 9. It's not 2003. We should all be past the whole American cheese shaming thing. Is it gourmet? No. Is it the perfect addition to a smash burger, combined with a more flavorful cheese in a grilled cheese, or on a breakfast sandwich? Yes. Story 10. In-N-Out burger. American cheese is essential for melted cheese. Real cheese does not melt well. It flops and then hardens. Story 11. Nothing. I do not like American cheese, but my husband will put it on everything. Burgers, nachos, grilled cheese, eggs, and ramen. Story 12. Definitely not a fan of American cheese. However, I do like easy cheese in a can on club crackers. Story 13. No judgment? Footlong from Subway, tuna, double American cheese, a little lettuce, and what I refer to as more black olives than you would ever think should go on a sandwich, with mayonnaise. So freaking good with Harvest cheddar chips. Story 14. None. I'm not judging anyone who likes American cheese, but as a Dutchman, I just can't say I enjoy anything about American cheeses, at least not those bought in supermarkets there. Maybe farm cheeses taste better. I don't know. Just like with American chocolate, I can kind of taste that it wants to be something, but the aftertaste is just bad. Sorry, my American friends. Story 15. American cheese is one of the best cheeses. Only the processed Kraft sliced cheese is of low quality and not the same product. Story 16. I sometimes fold up pieces of American cheese, so they break into little squares and dip them directly into ketchup, mayonnaise, or barbecue sauce. Story 17. When I was pregnant, I would wrap a piece of American cheese around a kosher dill pickle spear. The cheese had to be the one wrapped in plastic. Story 18. Just because I would rather have cheddar or pepper jack on my burgers, breakfast sandwiches, and grilled cheese does not mean I am ashamed of enjoying American cheese on them. I just like literally anything else better, that is all. Story 19. Grill Hebrew National hot dog wrapped with 2 slices of bologna and 2 slices of melted yellow American cheese. Place the entire hot dog on a grilled or toasted hot dog bun. Story 20. My mom used to make red flannel hash, which is like regular corned beef hash with beets. My siblings and I still insist on topping it with American cheese. It is really good. Story 21. White meat leftover Thanksgiving turkey, rye bread, Hellmann's mayonnaise, salt, lots of pepper, and American cheese. The absolute best part of Thanksgiving. Story 22. I just realized I have lived in the United States for 15 years and have no idea what American cheese is. The slices in the plastic film. Story 23. Bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches. Ramen with an egg, sautéed sesame seeds, sriracha, and American cheese is great. Story 24. The typical burgers, tuna melts, breakfast bagel sandwiches, and similar items are all delicious. However, the most nostalgic struggle meal with American cheese is a good old Kraft single placed on top of saltine crackers and microwaved. This is often underrated. Story 25. Instant ramen, Shin Black in particular, with a slice of American cheese on top is perfection, especially at midnight. Story 26. A classic burger. There is just something about the creaminess that is fantastic with plain old lettuce, tomato, and a greasy patty. Now, if I am getting fancy with grilled onions or other toppings, then of course I will upgrade my cheese choice, but sometimes American cheese is great. Story 27. My mom used to make a tuna casserole in the 1970s. Minute rice, tuna, canned tomatoes, American cheese under the broiler. It is probably awful with grown-up taste buds, but it was heaven then. Story 28. Basic bacon, egg, and cheese on a croissant or English muffin, or a single small cheeseburger with only ketchup, mustard, onions, and pickles. Wrapped in foil so the cheese melts perfectly. Nothing else added. Story 29. Land O'Lakes sliced from the deli. Everything. Burgers, breakfast sandwiches, scrambles, grilled cheese sandwiches, macaroni and cheese. It's delicious. Story 30. Chili, and I specifically want Velveeta or government-issued free cheese. Shred it, throw in chunks, I don't care. Just give me that sweet, sweet processed cheese in my chili. Story 31. Grilled on top of hamburger patties on a hot July day with a dab of ketchup. The only thing I like to eat American cheese on is hamburger patties with ketchup. Both American cheese and ketchup gross me out otherwise. Story 32. Deli American cheese is honestly delicious, much better than Kraft singles. It is great plain, mixed into macaroni and cheese, on a grilled cheese sandwich or however you prefer. Story 33. Grilled cheese sandwich, yes, but also the humble sliced ham and cheese sandwich with just a bit of mayonnaise on plain white bread. Cheeseburgers are not bad with it either. Story 34. Why on earth would there ever be judgment or shame for American cheese? It is just cheese, and it is an amazing cheese option in many different foods. Story 35. Any homemade sandwich with Land O'Lakes white American cheese is pretty good. I understand the dislike for Kraft. I am not a fan either. However, I get the impression that those who dislike it have not tried it outside of Kraft products. Deli sliced American cheese is pretty good, and I would choose that over provolone, Swiss, or cheddar for a sandwich. Outside of a sandwich, I use American cheese on a burger, 2 slices, not melted. Story 36. What is American cheese? From which town or mountain valley does it come? What does it look like? I do not buy any cheese that does not come from a 10 square kilometer area of origin. Story 37. As an American, this cheese is the worst. It is just lazy. Everything tastes better with other cheeses. Story 38. I make microwave cheese sandwiches. Sometimes I put pepperoni on them and dip them in pizza sauce. I am 33 years old. Sometimes it is hard to believe that. Story 39. Cheesesteak. Bachelor of Electrical Engineering. Grilled cheese. Cheese sandwich. Story 40. American cheese is amazing. I do not care what anyone says. I love it most on a double smash burger. Honorable mention. It is excellent in a grilled cheese sandwich and grated from a block in macaroni and cheese. Story 41. Spicy ramen, with both the basic Moroccan chili ramen and the Black Shin brand. Just cook the noodles as normal and add a slice on top. Delicious. Story 42. Grilled cheese, burger, scrambled eggs, chopped cheese, chopped chicken, tater tots. American cheese gets a bad rap. It is actually a very cool food innovation. Story 43. Grilled spiced ham slices on toast with American cheese is my guiltiest pleasure. Eating it feels like tempting fate. Story 44. A steamed hot dog with American cheese and ketchup. Here we call it unsteamed, ketchup, fromage. I can eat those any day. Story 45. Grilled cheese sandwiches and cheeseburgers will always be better with American cheese. It melts better, and honestly, it's just the flavor and texture that go best in my opinion. Fancy cheeses, or I guess normal cheeses, taste good. But there is something endearing about a sloppy, nice cheeseburger. Also, American cheese or processed cheese is not necessarily as gross as we often make it out to be as a concept. Story 46. English muffin, split in half, add a slice of American cheese to each side. Then a whole slice of apple on each and a sprinkle of cinnamon. Toast until the cheese is melted. Delicious. Also, I am 95% sure I found the recipe in a Fall Highlights magazine a long time ago. Story 47. Pierogies. My mom would make the mashed potatoes and blend them with white American cheese, specifically Land O'Lakes deli sliced, which made them very creamy. She added salt, so extra salt was almost unnecessary, and the pierogies were amazing. You could use cheddar, salt, a touch of butter, and cream, but the American cheese made it simple and delicious. Story 48. My wife hates American cheese while I love it. Sadly, I do not get to have it often, but using it in cheese dip or on top of burgers has always been my go-to. Story 49. It is the best homemade sausage, egg, and cheese McMuffins. The Lucerne brand American cheese is really good. I make a big batch of these and freeze them for later. Story 50. I open a slice and cook it in the microwave. Puffs up and becomes crunchy. Yummy. I have loved it since I was a kid. Story 51. Fried cooked pork sandwich with a slice of American cheese and a thin layer of mayonnaise is my #1 struggle meal that I still enjoy regularly. Story 52. Grilled cheese, breakfast burrito with tortilla, scrambled egg, slice of American cheese, avocado and salsa, burgers, sandwiches. I like American cheese. No shame in my game. Story 53. My boyfriend loves grilled cheese sandwiches with that ingredient. I will definitely choose the higher quality option we have rather than this low quality one. I only eat it when there is nothing else left. Story 54. White sliced bread, pepperoni, American cheese, and yellow mustard. No fancy bread, no high quality mustard, and no cheddar cheese. This is how it is supposed to be. Story 55. Grilled hamburgers, especially homemade, and toasted cheese. Just thinking about them nearly makes me drool. Story 56. Bologna and cheese sandwich with mustard and mayonnaise. Whole milk. White bread is not ideal, but it is required in this instance. Story 57. I'm pretty sure I have never bought American cheese. I might have had it in a dish at a restaurant like a burger or something. Story 58. My go-to lazy day meal is fish sticks, American cheese, and mayonnaise on whatever bread I have in the house. American cheese is also great when I am making a nice cheese sauce from scratch. It melts extremely well and helps the sauce stick to the noodles. I usually use 1 part American cheese to 3 or 4 parts of the real cheese I want to be the star of the sauce. Story 59. American cheese shall only be used in the making of grilled cheese sandwiches. All other uses are an abomination. It is right there in Leviticus, I imagine. Story 60. An ex of mine would microwave a slice of it onto frozen Eggo waffles and spread peanut butter on it. It was revolting. He ate this every single morning for breakfast. Story 61. A burger that just came off a circular Weber grill heated by charcoal, cooked by someone who is at least 2 bush lights deep. Story 62. Grilled cheese and burgers. Also makes a good melty sauce for homemade macaroni and cheese. I have a friend who snidely comments on American cheese. But my cheeseburger is yummy and melty, not oily and separated like hers. Story 63. My mom made macaroni and cheese with American cheese. She would boil the macaroni, drain it, and add milk. Then, she put it in a casserole dish, alternating layers of macaroni and American cheese. She would tear the cheese and lay it on top, then bake it in the oven until the cheese was gooey and slightly burnt. As easy as that sounds, I have never been able to duplicate the taste. Hers was by far the best macaroni and cheese I ever had. I also like American cheese on grilled burgers. Story 64. Pork roll, egg, and cheese sandwich. Everything else can be elevated with fancier cheeses. This particular breakfast sandwich is meant to be simple and indulgent. Story 65. American cheese is a really good melter, and the emulsifiers in it will help other cheeses melt better. Therefore, it is ideal for anything with melted cheese. Story 66. I bought my pepper box set a long time after it came out, hoping the price would drop. It did, so I bought it new and sealed but without the three-dimensional looking cover. I was upset but did not return it. It was my mistake for not contacting the seller and asking. Story 67. I used to like peanut butter and Cheerio sandwiches with a slice of cheese. Why? I don't know, it just worked for my toddler palate. Story 68. Breakfast sandwiches and grilled cheese. Even if I get fancy with it, I'll add a slice of Kraft cheese. Story 69. I ate 5 pieces of Kraft Singles cheese for breakfast this morning. It was salty, umami goodness. Story 70. I thought it was bad until I tried it, but a slice of piping hot apple pie with some American cheese on it is divine. Story 71. Cheeseburger. Grilled cheese. Ham and cheese sandwich. Bologna and cheese sandwich. Breakfast Jack or Egg McMuffin. This list is by no means complete. I do not buy the pasteurized processed American cheese food, spread, or product. I buy the plain old pasteurized processed American cheese. Story 72. Don't roast me, but I love it on Sloppy Joes. Yeah, I know a Sloppy Joe with cheese is unusual, but it is so good. I typically do not eat processed cheese like Kraft or similar brands, but this combination just tastes so good. Story 73. Kraft Singles, while definitely not real cheese, make a great grilled cheese. My mom refused to have fake American cheese in the house, so I only experienced this delicacy when eating a meal with a friend. Kim Hamer, wherever you are, your mom knew grilled cheese. Story 74. My dad used to put a slice of American cheese on top of a bowl of Campbell's tomato soup. Although I have not had this in years, I remember it being really good. Story 75. Jamaican spicy meat patty on cocoa bread with a slice of American processed cheese. Washed down with a cool, crisp Diet Cola. Learned this one while in Jamaica. It is my ultimate comfort food. Story 76. I made a breakfast sandwich a few days ago. It consisted of a cinnamon roll at the bottom, then layered with a spicy sausage patty, egg, American cheese, and topped off with another cinnamon roll and a drizzle of icing. I was honestly nervous the whole time making it because it was something completely new, but I ended up loving it. It is definitely going to be in my rotation for breakfast sandwiches. I also love a good grilled cheese. Story 77. Egg and cheese from a delicatessen. Sadly, I cannot get that good old New York City delicatessen or bodega breakfast since I am now in Cincinnati, Ohio, and it is not the same. Story 78. Every food that traditionally contains melted cheese is good. Foods with unmelted cheese are not enjoyable. Story 79. I am partial to Velveeta slices, but any American-style cheese goes well with grilled cheese, burgers, chicken sandwiches, and various types of deli sandwiches. Story 80. Grilled cheese, burgers, macaroni and cheese, and breakfast sandwiches are all objectively better with American cheese. Story 81. Macaroni bolognese. Sometimes I cut American cheese into small pieces, then mix it on the plate with the macaroni. Story 82. Coffee in America does not taste good. Everything has cheese, which is unpleasant. I went to New York and Las Vegas, and as someone from Ireland, I do not want to visit America again. Story 83. McDonald's puts that sauce on their burgers. They sell billions every day worldwide. So don't act like you don't eat and love that. Story 84. Cheeseburger, grilled cheese, egg and cheese sandwich. Really, the only use for it is to melt it on a sandwich. I usually add a piece of cheddar cheese as well. Story 85. Slightly toasted, add cheese, then toast again until the cheese is gooey and delicious. It is so good that one can lose their mind eating it. Story 86. Sometimes I go to my local grocery store deli counter and get hot ham and hard rolls. I make a hot ham sandwich and add a slice of American cheese. Usually I choose Swiss, but sometimes I want American. On a cold winter day, while sitting and watching football, I can't think of anything better. Story 87. Chicken and a biscuit with spray American cheese. Terrible for you, but it's a guilty pleasure I rarely choose when I have that craving. Story 88. Grits. There is no better cheese to use for cheese grits than American cheese. Sorry, I do not make the rules. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.